Today we are going to work on the Unit 16 review, which is circles and angles. I'm going to run through this relatively quickly. If you need to pause and rewind, make sure that you do that. If you've got questions beyond what I can answer on this video for you, please make sure that you see your teacher prior to the test. Okay, so the essential question is always, where is the vertex? In number 1, the vertex of angle 1 is on the circle. Therefore, the formula is the angle equals the arc divided by 2. In this case, the intercepted arc is something we don't know. So if we have to add the 127 and 135 and get 262. Okay, subtract that from 360. And you get 98. And then to find the angle, when you cut the arc of 98 in half, you get an angle measure of 49 degrees. Okay, number 2 has to do with one of the theorems that we learned that says if all 4 corners of a quadrilateral are on the circle, if the quadrilateral is inscribed in the circle, then opposite angles are supplementary. Supplementary means they add 180, so the measure of angle 1 is 100 degrees. Number 3, vertex on the circle. Therefore, angle equals arc divided by 2. Just make sure that you put everything in the right place. 31 is the angle. That equals the arc, which is 3x plus 2, cut in half. You can do this multiple ways, but my suggestion is to go ahead and cross multiply. So you have 62 equals 3x plus 2. Subtract the 2. Divide by 3, and x is 20. Number 4, again, many different ways to see this one. There are several different ways. My suggestion, the way my brain sees it, and yours might be different, is I always notice the angles that intercept a semicircle. A semicircle is 180 degrees, so you cut that in half. And that has to be a 90-degree angle. Then take from that the fact that we have a triangle. And one of the fundamental things that we all know by now is that all 3 angles of a triangle add to 180 degrees. So my easiest way for my brain to handle this is to do 90 plus 3x plus 6 plus 7x plus 4 equals 180. 90 plus 6 plus 4 is 100. 3x plus 7x is 10x. Subtract the 100 and you get 80. Divide by 10 and you get 8. So x is 8. Number 5, where is the vertex? Inside the circle, not at center. So the angle equals arc plus arc divided by 2. Okay, the angle is the one we don't know. I'm going to call that x. One arc is 40. The other arc is 30 divided by 2. So 70 divided by 2 is 35. Okay, that one you're essentially finding the average. What's halfway between 30 and 40? Number 6, your vertex is outside of the circle. So the angle equals the arc minus the arc, cut in half. Okay, the angle is what we're looking for. We'll call that x. The big arc is 120. The little arc is 40. Please subtract bigger minus smaller so that we always get positive numbers. So 120 minus 40 is 80. Divided by 2 is 40. Okay, next one, similar situation, just a little bit different picture. Where's the vertex? Outside. So the formula is that the angle equals arc minus arc divided by 2. Okay. Let me point out on this, it confuses people all the time. Once again, this is because we cannot afford color copies, okay? This is pointing to right here on the circle. Over here is pointing to right this exact point on the circle. So it is actually describing or marking this intercepted arc of 215. The other one that we need is the other part of the circle. So to find that, we just do 360 minus 215, and we get 145. So the red arc is 145. Then just follow your formula. The angle equals the big arc minus the little arc divided by 2. Okay, and I believe you should get 35. Okay, number 8 again. People get tripped up because we got some lines extending. Look at the angle. Here's the angle. The vertex is on the circle. Therefore, angle equals arc divided by 2. Okay, once again, don't get messed up by the fact that the dashes appear to be going outside the angle. That's true, they do. But again, what we're talking about is from this point to this point on the circle. So it's actually the intercepted arc. So this one's pretty straightforward. It's just 160 divided by 2, which is 80. Number 9, vertex is at the not at the center, inside the circle, so it's angle equals arc plus arc divided by 2. Okay, here's my 2 arcs. The angle is 76, so be careful. So many people will do 105 plus 76 divided by 2, and they think they got the answer, and I promise that'll be an answer choice. Pay attention to the formula. The angle, the 76, is 105 plus something, plus x, divided by 2. Again, my brain likes to cross multiply that. So when I do 76 times 2, I get 152. And then when I subtract 105, I get 47. Okay, so that missing arc measure is 47. Number 10, where is the vertex? It's at the center. These are the easy ones. The angle equals the arc. So you're just setting 3x minus 6 equal to 84. Add 6 and divide by 3. Okay, number 11. There is one just like this on your test. If you are not a careful reader, you're going to miss this. Okay? They give you the 2 angle measures in terms of x. Then they ask for the arc, ST. So you are not finished until you know this measure. Okay? First things first, you got to start noticing angle 1 intercepts arc ST. Angle 2 intercepts arc ST. Because they intercept the same arc, they must be equal to each other. So set the 2 angles equal. I'm going to subtract 2x, add 3, and divide by 4. I 100% guarantee 2 would be an answer choice on this problem. Not even close to finished. Plug this into the angle. So I'll just do angle 1. Angle 1 is 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 5. So angle 1 is 9 degrees. Okay, clearly not drawn to scale, but that's okay. Angle 2 should be the same. Is that what they're asking for? No. That's the angle measure. I guarantee you 9 would be an answer choice if this was a multiple choice test. Okay, they are asking for the arc. The vertex is on the circle, so angle equals arc divided by 2. The angle is 9. What got divided by 2 to create a 9? 18. So you are not finished with this until you get an arc measure of 18. The one on the test is almost exactly like that one. Make sure you've studied that. Number 12. Vertex is on the circle. Angle equals arc divided by 2. Problem is, I don't know what that arc is. So I start looking around for other information. These marks tell me that their corresponding chords are congruent. So 123 plus 123 is 246. When I subtract 246 from 360, I get 114. That's this arc over here. Not finished. They asked me for the angle measure. So the angle equals the 114 cut in half, which is 57. Number 13 should be short and sweet. You're intercepting a semicircle. It's also a tangent, so you should automatically know that's 90. Okay, 14. On the circle, again, please don't be confused by the dashed lines going outside of the angle. What they're really talking about is this intercepted arc. Vertex is on, so angle equals arc divided by 2. Angle is 3x minus 2. Arc is 98. You have a couple options here. What I've been doing this whole time is cross multiplying. If you want to stick with that, that's fine. Please remember to distribute. Most of you will just do 98 divided by 2 on your calculator and get 49. Then you will add 2 and get 51. And then divide by 3 and get 17. Okay. Now the big doozy. Let me add in some, we use the tabs here. So let me put some shapes on here that we can use to distinguish what we're talking about. So give me just a minute. If you have, oh, can't see what I'm doing here. There we go. If you have tabs that you've been using in your classroom, that now would be the time that I would think that you would want that out. Okay, get these tabs out so you can isolate angles. We will get back to those in just a moment. All right, now, read the directions at the top. AB is tangent to circle O. Okay, so tangent, that automatically tells me that angle 7 is 90 degrees, and 8 and 3 together are 90 degrees. AF is a diameter. Kind of tells me almost the same thing. First arc that they give us is AG. That's 100. Your job before you start any of these problems, 15 through 22, is to make sure that you have every little piece of circle, every arc is, you know the number for. Okay, you know the degree measure for. So, if AG is 100, GF must be 80, because those are 180. Then they tell us that CE is 30, EF is 25. Okay, subtract 30 and 25, subtract that 55 from 180, and you'll find out that AC is 125. Don't even start these problems until you have all of those pieces filled in. Okay, then you're just doing problems like what we've done 1 through 14. Where's the vertex? And here's what we know. Okay, angle 1, the vertex is at the center, so the angle equals the arc. Probably you can see that angle 1 intercepts the arc of 80 degrees, so it's just 80. Angle 2, same concept. It's at the center. Angle equals arc, so it's 100 degrees. You might have also noticed that 1 and 2 are a linear pair, so you could have gone that route as well. Now, angle 3, a little bit different. Where's the vertex? It is on the circle, so the angle equals the arc cut in half. It may help. It helps me, and I've done this for many, many years. It may help you to go ahead and take your little strips of paper and isolate angle 3. Okay, let me move these guys out of the way. Angle 3 is the arc that it intercepts is 30 and 25. So in total, it's a 55 degree angle that gets cut in half. So it's 27.5. All right, I'll move this guy back down. Angle 4. Angle 4 is inside the circle but not at center. So the angle equals arc plus arc cut in half. Okay? This one confuses people the most. Most everybody can get that one of the arcs is 80. Almost everyone is able to see that. Where people struggle is the angle, the arc that comes from the vertical angle. Okay, so here's angle 4. Right here you can see that 80 is one of the intercepted arcs. Okay, well, where do we get the other intercepted arc? You have to go with the vertical angle to 4. So let's start this out over here. The angle is going to be 80 plus something divided by 2. So let's go figure out what that something is. I need the vertical angle to 4. I got to find its arc. So if you look here, take the screen guy off of here. Okay, look right here. The other intercepted arc is 155. Okay? Use your little strips of paper to see that. That other intercepted arc is 155. So make sure that you kind of understand how to see those. Let me put all my pieces back on here. Oh, not the 25. Okay, so on your calculator, you're doing 80 plus 155, enter, and then you're dividing by 2, and you should get 117.5. Okay, angle 5 is almost the same thing, and you can do the same procedure. Okay, you might be able to see it's 25 plus 100 divided by 2, or you can recognize that 4 and 5 are a linear pair. They're side by side on a straight line, and you could just subtract from 180 to get 62.5. Okay, so either way you go, whether you use the formula of arc plus arc divided by 2, or you use linear pair, you should get 62.5. All right, angle 6 is outside the circle, so angle equals arc minus arc divided by 2. Okay, so angle 6, use your little strips of paper to isolate. We're looking for two different arcs. Okay, so one of the arcs is right here at 30. The other arc is 100. Remember that we're subtracting these and divide by 2, so we get 35. Angle 7, we actually already talked about as a tangent. It's 90 degrees. Okay, angle 7 is right here. I know it's got a curved piece on there. That's because I'm not going to give that away to you. And then angle 8 is on the circle. So it's going to be arc divided by 2. Here's angle 8. And you can see that the arc that's intercepted is 125. So again, it's on the circle. Angle equals arc divided by 2. So 125 divided by 2 is 62.5. Okay? Use those strips of paper, y'all. They really help. And if you need more help on this, go see your teacher in person so that he or she can help you. Okay, review problems. These are going to be on the test. These are all proportion problems. Number 23 says to the nearest tenth, what is AP? Well, if that's what I'm looking for, I'm going to go call that X. Okay, then I am visual, so I have a need to draw two separate triangles. My little triangle, it has a side of 2.2 and a base of 2.6. My bigger triangle has a side of X plus 2.2 and a base of 5.6. Okay, a few different ways to set up this proportion. I'm going to do 2.2, I'm going to do side over base. So 2.2 over 2.6 equals X plus 2.2 over over 5.6. Okay, it's just setting up a proportion. So when you cross multiply, remember to distribute. So you're going to get 2.6x plus 2.6 times 2.2 is 5.72. And then 2.2 times 5.6 when I cross the other way equals 12.32. Subtract the 5.72 and I get 6.6. Divide by 2.6 and I get to the nearest tenth 2.5 meters in this case. Okay, 24. Another proportion. Shanna's 5 feet 9 inches tall. Be real careful with this anytime you mix units. To find the height of a tree, she measured her shadow and the tree's shadow. Her shadow was 8 feet long and the tree's shadow was 30 feet long. To the nearest foot, how tall is the tree? Okay, so we've basically, my word fraction is going to be height over shadow. Okay, Shanna is 5 feet 9 inches tall. Please don't put 5.9. 9 inches is out of a base of 12 inches. A whole foot is 12 inches. So that's 0.75. So Shanna is 5.75 feet tall, and her shadow was 8 feet. The tree's shadow is 30 feet. So top or bottom, where does that go? The shadow I wrote goes on the bottom. I need to know how tall the tree is. So I'm going to cross multiply and get 8x equals 5.75 times 30 is 172.5. I'm going to divide that by 8, and I get 21.5625. It says to the nearest foot. So since it's 21.5, the nearest foot would put me to 22 feet. 25, to the nearest hundredth, what's the area of a sector of a circle with radius 9 and central angle 50? Degree over 360 equals sector area out of total area, pi times radius squared. Okay, we just did this last chapter. But again, just like 23 and 24, these are proportion problems. So I'm going to do 360x equals, I'm just typing in 50 times pi times 9 squared so I don't screw up. And I got this big old decimal, 12723.45. Okay, and I'm just leaving that on my calculator and I'm saying divided by 360. And so I get x equals 35.34 to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so I did use the pi button because it told me to round. It didn't ask for exact. 26, we are omitting. It's not on the test, and the key was different from this one, and so Ms. Basioli kind of overlooked that and didn't make the change. So we're going to not worry about number 26 for right now. I believe if you get the right answer, it's, I don't remember, 120 maybe. Okay, number 27, an arc in a circle with a radius of 15 meters measures 48 degrees. What's the arc length to the nearest tenth? So we are going to type in pi. So we got 48 degrees out of 360 equals what out of 2 pi r? Because again, arc length comes from circumference. So down here, I'm using the circumference formula. Okay, whereas last time I used area. So I get 360x equals, on my calculator, I am typing right now 48 times pi, times 2 times pi times 15. And I get 4523.89. I'm going to divide that by 360 while it's still sitting on my calculator. And I get x equals 2.5663, okay, to the nearest tenth. I'm going to have to round up, so I get 12.6 meters. Okay, last one, radius and height of a cylinder are multiplied by 5. What is the effect on volume? Volume has 3 dimensions, 2 of which are radius, the third of which is height. If each of those is multiplied by 5, my volume change is 125 times bigger. Again, if you have questions, please make sure you go and see your teacher before the test.